hello everyone, to co-speakers, to students and teachers. I am Devika Bahudhanam, mother of two and a filmmaker. I've worked in various capacities as an executive producer. Finally, I got to direct my own show, Modern Love, on Amazon Prime. And I worked as post-production consultants on Magnum opuses like Bahubali and Triple R and other films. And then I am a cancer survivor, cancer warrior. Warrior because the war is still on. It's not over yet, and it soon will. I will ensure the war will end soon. So that's me during my treatment with my kids last year in Spain. So that's a lot of yin and yang, isn't it? From filmmaking to cancer. So let's see how I applied yin and yang in my life. I just want to take you through my journey. When I was researching for yin and yang, I realized this ancient Chinese philosophy is so wonderful, and it can be applied in our life, in our daily life, and across our life. The sheer contrast, the philosophy talks about the sheer contrast between two bodies, the yin and yang, that exists in every day in our moments, in our daily schedule. So while researching, I came upon these 4 steps to deal with or comprehend yin and yang rather. And those steps are understanding yin and yang first. Any new concept that's introduced to us, we have to understand what the concept is. So the first step being understanding yin and yang. And the second one, I feel, is accepting that concept if it suits oneself. So it's not just accepting a concept, but it is also absorbing that concept into our system. Then step 3 for me, which is a fascinating journey, and I learned this through my profession and through my cancer journey, and that is training one's mind. That is step 3. And finally, step 4 is striking a balance between yin and yang. That is by making a choice, which is completely up to us. So these are the 4 steps that I came upon while researching yin and yang before coming to TEDx here. So let me go through how I understood and what I understood of yin and yang. According to the dictionary and Google and search engines, it's a combination of 2 opposing forces that come together to become a whole, like how there we have in the symbol. But the important part in understanding yin and yang is that there's always a contrast. There's always a conflict. Nothing is smooth. And that caught my attention. So I went deep into it, started reading a lot more about it. And I understood that yin and yang exists around us and in us. It exists around us in the nature, in the forces of nature, like our seasons, winter, summer, they're opposites. Fire, water, hot, cold, and in us, in human beings, as emotions, as joy and sorrow, pain, relief, happiness, sadness. which we experience every day, don't we? So this is the basic understanding I got of yin and yang and the contrast with which we have to live on a daily basis and in the long run in our lives. So now that we understood the basic concept of yin and yang, let me get to the next step of accepting this concept. And by accepting, I mean that anything that's inevitable in our life, one has to, there is no other choice, is what I realized, at least in my experience. There is no other choice but to accept it first. First understand and then go through the grind, go through the fact that there is always going to be an up and a down, and it's going to be a roller coaster ride no matter what. So once you accept this, it's not just acceptance, one has to absorb this into one's system. I think it should become a part of our upbringing and growth. If we can accept and absorb that this life has two constants, which is birth and death, then why can't we accept and absorb that we have to live with both joy and sorrow, and not just choose joy, not just choose sorrow and wallow in self-pity. So for me, it's difficult to accept this concept, but there is no other choice but to accept it. So I've made it a part of my system to accept the conflict in our life. For example, if you look at the symbol of Yin and Yang, it's so cleverly designed that they have actually left a choice for us. You know, the small dot, whether it's black or white, it's smaller, which means there is no choice. That will always be there. And the larger portion, the white or the black, is your, choice. So I'll come to that in detail in my next step. So one needs to absorb this concept into one's system, that one has to live with contrasts and conflicts in life. Then comes my step 3. This is a part of my life lessons with so much in my life, with filmmaking, with 2 boys, one boy being a child with special needs and mental challenges, another boy being just about 11 years old. And I lost my husband also a few years ago to cardiac arrest, which was thrown into our lives without any notice. So with so much going on, obviously there are life lessons to be learned. And I did learn to accept situations but never to give up. How did I do that? I did that with training my mind. And how did I train my mind? So I'll just give you a small introduction to one of my treatments that I underwent last year. I have been diagnosed with cancer 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I've had multiple relapses after that. I think I've had 5 relapses so far. It's okay, I'm still here, I'll still be around for a long time to come. So during the treatment, there is a protocol of blood transfusion that's done for across 11 days. At least in my case, it was for 11 days. So the first time they transfused blood, my body couldn't take the shock, maybe because it's foreign blood. And doctors told me to anticipate some side effects like fever or rashes but I don't think I was sure if I was going to expect shock. So my body went into complete shock. By shock, I mean I lost control over my spinal cord and my brain. So The minute the transfusion started, I think well into 15-20 minutes of transfusion, I lost control over my spinal cord. I couldn't feel it. My brain, I had no control, and my body was in excruciating pain. And at that moment, all I could think of was, if this is the treatment, if this is what the treatment entails, then I don't want this. I want to just go back home and hug my kids and live whatever few days I have left. And I didn't, for a few minutes, I lost control on my thinking, and I saw white light. I saw white light that led me to some kind of brightness which I could not tolerate. And I said, okay, this is the moment of giving up. But I didn't want to go back without seeing my kids. And at that time, at that particular moment, I saw my 2 kids and their smiling faces. And something told me, this is not where you should go back. You have a purpose in life. You have to go back. And that's the choice I made. I clearly remember making that choice, saying, I'm not taking this pain. And at that time, I came back. Of course, I passed out for a few hours, I think. And I remember telling myself that I am far more powerful than this pain that I went through. I'm far more powerful than the cancer that is eating me up inside. And I have to be with my children no matter what. And guess what? The training of my mind didn't start yet. It starts now. So I finished day 1 of transfusion. I passed out. And I have 10 more days, 10 more bags of blood that were to be infused into me every day. So at that time, before the nurse walked into my room with a blood of bag, I used to get into a state of fear. And that moment, I sat up on my bed and I said, here's a choice I'm making. I know the pain. I felt it yesterday. I don't think it can get worse than that. And I will overcome it. I will not succumb to it. And that pain is the black dot for me. And the white area for me is my life with my children, my life with my films, and my life otherwise, because I love life. So I started training my mind to think that I am far more powerful than what it thinks it is, far more powerful than the pain that I'm going to experience. And I experienced the pain in anticipation. I said, oh, it can get this worse. My spinal cord might feel limbless, or my brain might feel like it has no power. I felt everything even before that bag of blood came to me. And believe me, it worked. 8 days out of those remaining 10 days went smoothly, absolutely smoothly, without any side effects. 2 days I had side effects. I think I was a little weak on those 2 days. But that's how I train my mind, and I realize it is up to us to train our mind. And it's a choice we have to make at the end of the day. And it's like pushing yourself in the gym physically to become fit. You have to become mentally fit by physically, mentally, emotionally pushing your mind to think that you're stronger than the random thoughts. The random thoughts don't define us. What defines us is our thinking. And that's completely up to us. So this was my step 3, training my mind. And it came from my life lesson, that is cancer. And my step 4, now it's the easy step. Now that we understood what Yin and Yang was, those basics of the philosophy, and we understood that we have to accept it and absorb it into our system. And then we also understand that one has to think and make the mind think like you want it to think, train one's mind. Now comes the easy part. The easy part is, the symbol is self-explanatory. It has 2 portions in Yin and 2 portions in Yang. It has the black dot and the white portion, and the white dot and the black portion. For me, the choice is the black dot. The black dot for me represents trauma, tribulations, my troubles, everything that's sorrowful in my life. I contain it in that small area. And the choice for me is the white area. That's the choice of life for me. I at least started looking at it this way. And once I made this choice, there was clarity in my mind. My emotions were not jumbled up anymore. Fear of cancer went away. I do not know the end result of my cancer, but I know that even till my last breath, I will live with happiness and with joy. Again, it's a choice. So these are my 4 steps that I learned while researching Yin and Yang. And I just want to speak about a little bit about what happens in filmmaking also, because I'm a filmmaker. We start a story and end a story, and everybody loves happy endings, I'm sure. Why do we love happy endings? Because we want our hero to, you see Raiders of the Lost Ark or Bahubali or any film, you want your hero to win all the time. Because we seek joy, we seek heroism. And I think that's what we all should do. We are the heroes of our films, of our lives, and I'm the hero of my life. And lastly, I just want to, well, this is another thing that I want to share is I've had my share of accolades in my life, honors from the likes of Karan Johar, Rajmouli, you know, to Rajamouli sir, to Nagesh Kukunur, the wonderful filmmaker that I worked with. He mentored me. After receiving such great accolades, well, I have this beautiful family, my husband that I lost. That's my family with my children. And me alone in my cancer treatment. Of course, I had my supporters and family. But look at the yin and yang here, from where I started, enjoying the awards that I received to fighting cancer. At the end of the day, I have to fight it myself. So I have to accept both bouquets and brickbats. There is no choice. This is what I wanted to sum up. And I want to just talk about 3 more life lessons that I learned. This is my son with special needs. He has developmental delays. He's 23 now, but with a mind of a 5-year-old. And I never once regretted his condition. I looked at the whiter part in Yang again, which is even if he's 5 years old, trapped in a 23-year-old body, he gave me the joy of living with him like a baby. I'm living with a 5-year-old baby every day, and it's a lot of fun. I didn't make just peace with it. I love being mother to a 5-year-old eternally. And then another life lesson I learned from losing my husband is that life can be out of control anytime. It can completely go out of control, and one has to accept it, but don't leave no stone unturned. Put in every effort that you have to do to make it happen. And finally, from my films, I learned that never ever give up anything, fulfill your passion. And I learned how to respect my work and my values in life, that life is great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your valuable time.